I'm just doing a little quest, because this is maybe gonna cause issues, and no, it's affecting females, so mares are ones that I have to be concerned about. Yeah, great, great. Just disable the sounds for that, in case it's not like there are parts on display, so I'm not going to worry about that part. Okay. Only one of you can do this, and I don't know. Construction 3. It won't really matter. Actually, Harriet's a better shot. You're better once they get up close, but your manipulation and everything are slowed down because you're knocked up. No, actually, it's just you're moving right now. Okay. So, yeah, you work on that, and Harriet gets to keep an eye out for manhunter mares. Okay. Actually, let's do that too. It can probably be sold, but let's just deconstruct it. We're doing okay, so speed things up. Alright. No. Good. Okay. Well, Harriet's getting sent home with that and one of the horses. And I have a separate quest to send. Alex is our best medic, and there's a quest I have for that. Doesn't matter which horse you take. You take all of that. I brought that with me in case we got hurt, and we didn't. So, yeah, you bring that, but only half of that. Alex and other horse. And food. Yes, correct. I have too many buffaloes. I started collecting them, but because I want to cull them after I've sheared them, I'm having to wait and thus feed them until they have been sheared, and that's a long wait cycle. So, I have a bunch of muffalos, and as the grass has been depleting, I've been planting dandelions because they're the most efficient way to make that happen. But I have too many muffalos. The next one to be culled is going to be you. Not today, but alright. Yes, I went with a punny name. Good for you. Minor failure doesn't have any downsides, and you still get the experience. Which should put you to 7 now, with a bit of overflow. Sure. Sure. Both of these, the sonic emitter and the actual doctor quest, are added by something that I don't think is, or definitely doesn't need to be, unsafe for whatnot. But don't remember the name of it offhand. I remember that it can add affection. That's entirely space stuff, but I'm not there, and I don't really care, so haven't been bothering with that. But this is what I've got. I've deconstructed all the deconstructibles. We're starting to mine. There's herds of variably successfully breeding things out there. Everything else has been culled by me or the one predator on the map, but they're all breeding enough that he's just picking off babies, and it's fine. I did have a thought related to this game specifically, in that I have talked about the save editing, and it is not a generally difficult thing to do because the save files are all but plain text. Otherwise, I would not be able to do it myself, not without, something explaining to me what the fuck I'm supposed to do. But I think showing that, it's really easy to disable mods in this, and I don't have to worry about fucking something up in the process. So I think what I want to do in showing that is I will disable the sketchy stuff, just so that it's not something I have to worry about being on screen. And then create a new save file. It's easier to do on the new save files because they're smaller. and it hasn't populated additional people that exist in the world at large. So there's just a smaller file, so some of the searching through it and whatnot is just simpler for that, but finding who I want, meaning my colonists, isn't that hard to begin with. But I figure creating just a start save under whatever conditions, and then going in and showing what that pawn looks like and where things I have modified show up. Maybe have 2 pawns, one that actually has something wrong with them, so I can actually see, because I haven't tested removing like physical issues. I keep re-rolling colonists until there's nothing wrong with them. So, but maybe I'll have one that does have something, so I can see these side by side for that section of the character, and you can watch me figure out how to make them healthy, or force them to be healthy. I have a mod that has messed with just changing the amount of melanin, but the actual skin color values I can edit instead, which gives me a broader range of options rather than a single linear 0 to 1, 1 being darkest, 0 being white as possible. That is the default. But I can show those different sections and what I have and haven't tweaked. I know how to tweak the age. That involved math, because it's done in ticks, rather than a inherently obvious number. Hairstyles, body types, there's a range of those, and I only know a few offhand because I don't care about most of them. But sometimes if someone gets a real ugly hairstyle, I'll give them one of the ones I know the name for. Hair color is something I change regularly. I can change relationships. If someone has an existing one, I can mirror. Like, if I start with, I did actually start with, or I thought I did. No, maybe that was a previous one. If I have someone who has a sibling, or like if in my 4, 2 of them were siblings, I could make them all siblings, because the relationship section has, the way it's done is it lists the parents with pawn numbers. Human pawn, whatever number, human pawn, whatever number, and they happen to just have that section be identical, so that's real easy to copy and paste. So I've edited relationships, but yeah, the health stuff I haven't fussed with, mostly because I haven't started with someone who had anything there to adjust. Of course, I know how to tweak the traits. I add ones to people who join us. The skills are also very easy. I have, with the nymphs in particular, since they have so many things they can't do at all, I go into the back end and... Oh, you developed that on your own, but since they have so many things they're incapable of, I take all the back end numbers for however much it added up to and distribute it across the few skills that they're actually allowed to do. And for my children of my genetically engineered colonists, I give them, well, one, the social stuff that everyone who decides to join us gets anyway, and just the additional learning speed. I don't give them the enhanced immunity or any of that unless they happened to inherit it. And they get a little piece of our long list. So sometimes they happen to get one of the we learn faster ones on their own. But yeah, if they happen to inherit some of the physical ones, they keep those. The social ones, they're given. But I can show all of that, and that is what I'm intending to do with, again, superfluous mods stripped out. They do actually add sections that I have also tweaked, but I don't intend on engaging with those sections, so I don't need to show that. But that is the thought process for doing that. And yeah, I think showing that first, because that's easier for me to do without fucking up my game. And then I still need to figure out just how much I want and need to disable in a profile of Skyrim to be able to show the non-sketchy mod stuff and not have to deal with that. But I need the alternate start, which isn't inherently sketchy, but the one alternate start path that I actually use requires some of it, so I will probably just pick one of the mundane ones, so I don't have to have all of that extra stuff just to make my start work. But that requires testing just to make sure that it will actually do what I want. So I actually have to have the Fox available to sit and do that, and I haven't yet, but I will.